The hooked cross, known as the Hakenkreuz in German, or the name most of us know, the swastika, is one of the most infamous symbols in history. The word swastika originally comes from the Sanskrit word for well-being or good fortune, and remains a symbol of divinity and spirituality in religions like Hinduism and Buddhism. It even reached as far as Arizona, where Native American Pima people used the swastika to represent the four winds. In the early 20th century, the swastika was a relatively benign symbol. Coca-Cola used it in marketing, and the Girls Club of America named their magazine Swastika. However, everything changed in 1920 when Adolf Hitler appropriated the Hakenkreuz as the emblem of the Nazi regime. Promoted aggressively through propaganda, it became inextricably linked with the horrors of genocide, racial supremacism, and war. The Nazi Party emblem featured a black swastika, rotated 45 degrees. Hitler also designed his personal standard, which depicted a black swastika positioned flat on one arm, not rotated. Nazi Party flag. The Nazi Party flag, officially called Reichs- und Nationalflagge, unveiled in 1920 by Adolf Hitler for his Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, NSDAP. It showcased a Hakenkreuz, swastika, in black, centered on a white disc, all set against a striking red field. Hitler himself described it in Mein Kampf. Red symbolized the blood of Aryan ancestors, white embodied purity, and black stood for strength. After he became chancellor in 1933, Hitler wasted no time banning the Weimar Republic's black-red-gold tricolor in favor of his new design. Nazi eagle. Eagles have been used as symbols of power and prestige across the globe. Nazi Germany is no different, and in 1935, Adolf Hitler declared the Parteiadler, a stylized eagle gripping a Hakenkreuz, swastika, while looking over its left shoulder, as the Hoheitszeichen, national emblem. Historically, the eagle soared on banners for the Holy Roman Empire and the Prussian kings. Unlike the simpler eagles of earlier eras, this version had razor-sharp angles, outstretched wings, and a menacing posture that screamed aggression. Plus, nesting that swastika inside the wreath permanently tied the image to the Nazis' racial ideology, making it impossible to see without thinking of their toxic worldview. The Nazis also used the eagle in the Reichsadler, which is like the Parteiadler, but looking to its right. Reichsadler as images trace back to Charlemagne and the legacy of the Holy Roman Empire. Blood flag. The blood flag, or Blutfahne, symbolized how Nazis controlled their followers through mysticism. On 9 November 1923 in Munich, the Beer Hall Putsch took place. It was an attempted coup against the Weimar government, which was an unmitigated disaster. Andreas Bauriedl, a member of the Sturmabteilung SA, the paramilitary wing of the Nazi Party, was killed while marching alongside the flag the group was waving, and his blood stained the banner. Hitler took the flag and elevated it to a sacred status within the Nazi Party. The Blutfahne was treated as a revered object. One of its most prominent uses was during the party's annual Nuremberg rallies, where Hitler presided over a ceremony known as the flag consecration, Fahnenweihe. In this ritual, Hitler touched other Nazi banners with the Blutfahne to sanctify them. The flag is assumed to have been destroyed during the Allied bombing of Munich in 1945, although we aren't actually certain of that. Iron Cross. The Iron Cross, or Eisernes Kreuz, is a black pate cross with a white or silver outline. It dates back to the medieval Teutonic Order, whose knights proudly wore it before the symbol fell out of fashion, resurfacing in the 19th century thanks to King Frederick William III of Prussia. During World War I, soldiers wore the Iron Cross with pride, believing it signified sacrifice for the fatherland. In 1939, Adolf Hitler added a swastika at its center. In 1957, the symbol was used by the Bundeswehr, Germany's armed forces, but the swastika was swapped out for a trifoliate oak leaf cluster, distancing it from totalitarian association. In the United States, the Iron Cross found new life among outlaw motorcycle clubs in the 1960s and later skateboarders and extreme sports enthusiasts in the 1990s. Its edgy look and shock value made it a badge of rebellion. SS Totenkopf emblem. The Schutzstaffel, SS Death's Head, or Totenkopf, is one of the most unsettling emblems of the Nazi Party. With its skull and crossbones motif, it served as a hallmark for units like the SS Totenkopfverbände, SSTV, fitting for the ones responsible for administering concentration camps, who wore the insignia on their right collar tab, distinguishing them from other formations. In the early days of the Nazi Party, Adolf Hitler's bodyguard unit, the Stabswache, resurrected the Totenkopf as its insignia. and the Stabswache morphed into the Schutzstaffel, SS. Outside the Nazi context, this motif is widely used internationally to signify poisonous substances. SS Totenkopf Ring. The SS Totenkopf Ring, often called the Death's Head Ring, was one of the most sought-after personal awards given to members of the SS. Established by Reichsführer SS Heinrich Himmler in 1934, the ring featured a skull motif alongside runic symbols and the engraved motto, Meine Ehre heißt Treue, my honor is loyalty. It was not an official award, but a personal gift from Himmler, making it a highly coveted honor. It was to be worn exclusively on the ring finger of the left hand and was required to be returned if the recipient was dismissed, retired, or killed. Double victory, Rune. Runes, the ancient symbols used to write Germanic languages before the adoption of the Latin alphabet, were prominently repurposed by the Nazi Party. The double victory, Rune, or doppelte Siegrune, was used by the SS as a symbol of triumph. Its angular design, resembling a lightning bolt, was adopted in 1933 and intended to convey unstoppable force and dominance. The Siegrune translates as sun. However, Austrian occultist Guido von List, whose ideas influenced the Nazi Party, reinterpreted it as a victory sign when he compiled his list of Armenen runes. Black Sun. The Black Sun, or Schwarze Sonne, is an esoteric symbol associated with Heinrich Himmler's fascination with mysticism and Germanic pagan lore. This circular design typically features 12 radial arms emanating from a central disk, forming a pattern reminiscent of ancient solar motifs. Its design may have been influenced by Zierscheiben, German for decorative discs, objects found in southern Germanic graves. The Black Sun is widely popular in neo-Nazi and far-right extremist circles, notably appearing during the 2019 Christchurch mosque shootings, where the shooter, Brenton Harrison Tarrant, had it as a patch. Wewelsburg Castle symbols. Wewelsburg Castle, nestled in Germany's Westphalia region, became Heinrich Himmler's brainchild for an SS spiritual stronghold. Acquired by the SS in 1934, the fortress was envisioned as a center to cultivate an elitist ideology, merging Nazi doctrine with romanticized visions of medieval knighthood. At the heart of the North Tower was a Black Sun mosaic, which dominated the floor. Himmler used the castle as a base of extensive research into topics ranging from the Holy Grail to Teutonic legends, aiming to legitimize Nazi racial doctrine through mythical pseudo-histories. SA symbols. The Sturmabteilung SA, literally meaning storm division, was often referred to as the brown shirts, brown Hemden, similar to Benito Mussolini's black shirts. The SA served as the Nazi Party's first paramilitary wing and played a critical role in its early street-level campaigns. Emerging in the 1920s under the leadership of Ernst Röhm, the SA was known for its distinctive uniforms, brown tunics with party or swastika armbands, and kepi caps, along with bold SA insignia. The SA's influence waned after the Night of the Long Knives in 1934, when Röhm and other SA leaders were executed on Hitler's orders. Wolf's Hook. The Wolf's Hook, or Wolf's Angel in German, is a stylized depiction of a medieval wolf trap used primarily in Germany and eastern France. Also referred to as the Doppelhaken, double hook. It was a Z-shaped metal hook that had a central horizontal bar, creating a Z symbol that could be reversed or rotated. The Wolfsangel was an emblem of the Dutch Nationaal Socialistische Beweging, NSB. During the Third Reich, it was adopted by several Nazi formations, most notably the 2nd SS Panzer Division, Das Reich. Its adoption may have been inspired either by Hitler's association with wolf imagery or by the symbol's ties to the 15th century struggle for German independence. In 2020, a brief trend emerged among Generation Z TikTok users who tattooed a Generation Z symbol on their arms as a sign of rebellion. Hitler Youth Badge. One of the most recognized insignia of the Third Reich's youth organizations was the Hitler Youth Badge, or das Hitler Jugendabzeichen, prominently worn on the uniforms of the Hitler Jugend, HJ. The badge featured a diamond shape with alternating red and white fields centered around a black swastika. The runes. Runes, developed by early Germanic-speaking people, have been used for about 2,000 years. The oldest undisputed set of runes, dating back to about 150 CE, was found on a comb, ritually placed in a peat bog in Denmark. Modern uses of runes can be found with J.R.R. Tolkien, incorporating runes into his fictional worlds, using the Odal rune as a base for the Dwarvish Kurth writing system in The Lord of the Rings. The Lebensrune, life rune, symbolized birth, while its inverted form, the Todesrune, death rune, denoted death. These runes were used during World War II on obituaries and tombstones to mark birth and death dates. Tyr Rune, Tyr, derived from the Tiwaz rune, named after Tyr, the Germanic god of war, justice, and heroism, symbolized as the Kampf, or battle rune, representing military leadership. It frequently replaced Christian crosses on grave markers. Odal rune, representing inheritance, family, and bloodline. The Odal rune was the badge of the SS Race and Settlement main office, responsible for maintaining the racial purity of the SS. Broken Sun Cross. Often called a crooked cross, sun cross motifs have appeared across cultures, symbolizing solar deities and natural cycles. Native Americans used the medicine wheel for seasons and directions, while Slavic cultures kolovrat, or spinning wheel with 8 spokes, represented cosmic balance. In the 1930s, a version of the sun cross with broken arms resembling a curved swastika was revived by the Völkisch German faith movement, which wanted to create a connection between Christianity and Germanic paganism. During Nazi Germany, variations of the sun cross were reimagined with racially charged overtones, shaped by the regime's obsession with ancestral European imagery. The broken sun cross, in particular, featured uneven arms or radial extensions, creating a fractured appearance that distinguished it from the standard swastika. This design became associated with units like the SS Division Wiking, symbolizing elite prowess and militant heritage. Thule Society Emblem. The Thule Society, or Thule Gesellschaft, was a German occultist and racist folkish group founded in Munich in 1918, shortly after World War I, named after Ultima Thule, a mythical northern land from Greek legend. The society is best known for sponsoring the Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, German Workers' Party, which Adolf Hitler later transformed into the Nazi Party. Prominent figures like Rudolf Hess were associated with the Thule Society, highlighting its early influence on Nazi ideology. The society's emblem featured a stylized dagger superimposed on a swastika, surrounded by a crown of rays interwoven with oak branches. While it outwardly presented itself as a research group on Germanic antiquities, it was, in reality, a covert Bavarian organization modeled after the Masonic Lodge. Celtic Cross. The Celtic Cross is a Christian cross featuring a ring and is said to have been created by St. Patrick. As Irish missionaries traveled, they erected intricate stone high crosses bearing this symbol, which became a familiar sight between the 9th and 12th centuries. Over time, stone carvings, often depicting biblical scenes and knotwork patterns, became emblematic of Celtic heritage and Gaelic artistic traditions. In modern times, the Celtic Cross has been co-opted by Norwegian Nazis and white supremacist groups, including Stormfront, whose logo features a square-shaped Celtic cross surrounded by the phrase, "White Pride Worldwide," even whilst still in use as a religious symbol. Triskelion. The term Triskelion derives from the Greek word triskeles, meaning three-legged. Typically depicted as 3 curved or bent legs radiating from a central point, the Triskelion often symbolizes tripartite deities, the cyclical nature of time and spiritual dynamism. The Triskel later gained notoriety as a hate symbol, primarily due to its adoption by the Afrikaner Weerstandsbeweging, AWB, a South African white supremacist group formed in the 1970s. The AWB's flag, similar to the Nazi flag, but they replaced the swastika with a Triskelion. Nazi number symbols. Numbers often carry symbolic meaning in extremist ideologies and can be dog whistles in the modern day. Combinations like 18, Adolf Hitler, and 88, Heil Hitler, became covert symbols of allegiance, appearing in propaganda and correspondence during the Third Reich. Post-World War II neo-Nazi groups and white supremacists adopted these numbers on t-shirts, tattoos, and graffiti to signal their beliefs discreetly. The number 14 references the 14 words, a slogan coined by an American neo-Nazi leader, and this is why they may sell their t-shirts for $14.88. Atomwaffen Division logo. The Atomwaffen Division, AWD, meaning atomic weapons in German, was an international neo-Nazi terrorist network founded in 2013 by Brandon Russell on the Iron March web forum, promoting white supremacist, anti-Semitic, anti-establishment, and anti-LGBTQ ideologies. The AWD was active in at least 23 US states, maybe more. Their logo features a Waffen SS shield with a radiation trefoil, the traditional symbol used to warn of ionizing radiation, surrounded by a garland. Its flag incorporates yellow rays extending from the shield into a black background. Aryan Fist. The clenched fist, historically symbolizing defiance and unity, was adopted as a black power emblem by black nationalist groups in the 1960s and 1970s. By the 1980s, white supremacists appropriated the symbol, replacing it with a white fist to represent white pride or white power. Roman salute. The Roman salute, the Hitler salute, Hitlergruß, or the fascist salute, is a gesture in which the right arm is fully extended forward, with the palm facing downward and fingers touching. The Nazi Party made its use compulsory, as an expression of commitment among party members. Fasces. The fasces, a bundle of rods with an axe, symbolized a Roman magistrate's authority, imperium, to administer corporal or capital punishment. It appears in the US Senate seal and on the reverse of the winged Liberty dime, 1916 to 1945. Benito Mussolini used the fasces for his fascist movement, coining the term fascism. It has since been co-opted by extremist groups, including the white supremacist Youth for Western Civilization, which was active on at least 7 US university campuses. Crossed hammers. The Hammerskins, one of the oldest hardcore racist skinhead groups in the United States, have a violent history. Their logo, inspired by the 1982 film Pink Floyd's The Wall, features 2 crossed hammers, often superimposed over a cogwheel. This symbol typically appears in red, white, and black, the colors of the Nazi flag, and occasionally within a shield of the same colors.